We're living in a time where our favorite characters are being torn apart by creatives. They have absolutely no care in the world for what came before them, just the amount of damage they can do to a franchise. And now we're finding out that in Batman Cape Crusader, the Penguin is a woman called Oswalda Cobblepot. I have a few things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I have to talk about a lot of Clown World scenarios on this channel, and every single time we hear about something new that's superhero related, it's almost always coming with a but. But they're changing a character, but they're not following the comics, but they're altering this world that you once knew. There's some kind of problem that follows along with almost every single one of these projects now. And yes, we are still getting some decent content, like The Batman was pretty good, like Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty good, but the majority of projects have issues, and now we're finding out the issues with Batman Caped Crusader. This is a piece of content that has already actually been pretty heavily scrutinized by the internet because of some of the character designs we'd already seen. So the TV series launches in just a few days, but we had already seen this image that went pretty viral of Harley Quinn. A lot of people were not particularly happy with this design, and I have to agree. Harley, yes, can have her more, we'll just say, traditional jester garb that can actually look really good and stylish at the same time, while also looking kind of just feminine, and that really isn't here at all whatsoever. The body proportions are very bizarre. The color scheme is also really tame. It's just not what I would expect, and a lot of people would expect when you think about like Harley Quinn. Again, she doesn't have to be a bombshell like she was in the Arkhamverse games, but we still expect her to be semi-fashionable, and you can have a design like this that looks a little bit more intriguing than like this greenish black color with like this mustard yellow and then these awkward body proportions. It just doesn't look good. And there have been some images that we've seen with this that have looked pretty decent. I do really like Batman, of course. Selena looks really good. She also has a pretty feminine body type. She looks just like you'd expect Catwoman to look. The longer hair, the black and purple accents, really nice. But now we're finding out that yes, they have decided to gender swap Penguin. Out of all of the female villains that they could have put in this, they decided, nah, let's just throw away all of those female character options and let's just gender swap characters. Truly lazy. It says Minnie Driver is joining the DC animated universe in an unexpected role. On Saturday, the Academy Award nominee was announced as the voice of Oswalda Cobblepot, a gender swapped version of the Penguin. Out of everything you could do, you simply decided, let's take the Penguin's model, let's change the hair slightly, add an earring, add lipstick, and call her Oswalda. All they did was add an A to Oswald. I wish I could sit here and say that I was shocked at this, but I'm really not. We've seen this happen so much over the years, and people always criticize it. Nobody wants to see Catman. We want to see Catwoman. Nobody wants to see Janine Gordon. We want to see James Gordon. These are the characters that people show up to watch and buy merchandise for and root for, even if they are a villain like Oswald. But to just slap lipstick on her and then call her Oswalda, you've just proven that you are so extremely lazy, and they want controversy. I know for years now we've said, oh, they just simply don't understand what it is people want. No, I mean, it's very clear that they're doing things intentionally, and they don't care whatsoever as to what their customers actually want. It's like with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I've talked about this so much on the channel, but we just recently got the gender swapped Victor Freeze. No, it's not Nora. It's not their daughter. They could have put a character like Killer Frost into this game. They decided to take Victor and switch it to Victoria. And she's trying to still save her wife, Nora. Like, that's just not what people want to see. You can have cool female characters that are similar to Oswald, that are similar to Victor, but you can't gender swap them and expect people to be happy. Look at Kill the Justice League. It's got a measly 442 players in game, and this new character only had just released. They think that that's what's going to sell, and it's not. And of course, right now, Caped Crusader is getting absolutely annihilated on social media. People are pointing and laughing because the rest of the series might be good, which would be awesome. But when you make changes like this, people are not going to want to support you. And I understand that this is not part of the, DC animated canon. It is its own standalone universe. But at the same time, we still expect them to do slightly better. They could have put, I don't know, Oswald's daughter into this and had her be like her father. Something that would have made slightly more sense. People are saying things like, what in God's holy name is so difficult about sticking with what works? And it's true. They had an opportunity to just put Oswald into this, a character that people like. I mean, heck, we're seeing in the Batman universe, the Robert Pattinson Batman universe, they're doing a Penguin show that releases in just a few weeks because people love the Penguin so much. You don't take fan favorite characters and start shitting on them by slapping lipstick on them and putting an A at the end of their name. This is not cringe enough. This is mild work. Please try to do your worst, DC. I mean, at this point, it's like they could not do anything that would shock us, just disappoint us. Why? Why do they do these sort of things just for the controversy? And I do believe that they are doing this just for the controversy. They know there's going to be a lot of people talking about this. They know they're going to get a lot of eyes on this. But my issue is that besides some of the designs, like with Harley, for example, people were generally pretty excited for Caped Crusader, and there were a lot of people still talking about it, even though it was positive talk, even though people were hyped. It's not like nobody was discussing this show, but they decided to go with this route, and now they're getting absolutely slammed for it. This is trash, throw it away. What the hell even is that? Why am I not surprised? And cautious optimism is soundly defeated. This is such a worn out gimmick. It didn't work in Suicide Squad, and it won't work here. And again, like I mentioned, people have been relatively hyped for Caped Crusader, so now that we're seeing something like this being added, I wonder if that hype will kind of die down now. There's a lot of people in the comments saying they're not even going to watch it, which I completely understand. It is ridiculous that we have creatives slapping us in the face yet again, making these changes and thinking they're going to go over well with audiences, when of course they're not. So it does release in a few days. I will be keeping my eye on it, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.